friends, it's me, Stephanie. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So we're here at Lost and Funny Farm, and today we're in the greenhouse outside. It is, let's see, temperature 79 degrees in here, 59% humidity, so it's just perfect. I went ahead and I brought out my tomatoes, well not all tomatoes. I brought out the mini dwarfs and the micro dwarfs, and some of the. I brought out all the peppers, regardless of size. The okra's out here, the eggplants out here, and some of my squashes and zucchinis are up on my deck, getting some sun. And one of them's planted in here. So let me tell you about what we got going on. Oh, we got flowers out here too. So let's see. So here are some royal carpet of sweet alyssum that I grew from seed. Some sweet banana peppers. Here you'll see I have Massamoto blue asters, Bennery giant red asters. I've got petunias back there, ground cherries behind the asters, and basil. Here's my okra. Hang on, let me switch around. Here on the table beside me, I've got peppers of all kinds and borage and comfrey. So that's exciting. Snapdragons I grew from seeds in hanging pots. And let me take you down for a minute. This is super exciting. These are my bells of Ireland and my caramel rudbeckia. So these are black-eyed Susans. I've got them in hanging pots in the greenhouse. Back there, my snow white gomphrena, more mini peppers. This is a broccoli, dunja squash, and a tulip bulb that's not blooming. Here we had a bunch of lettuce, but me and my daughter harvested. It was romaine. It was actually this, the Rouge de Hiver. No, this is the Marvel of Four Seasons, I think. Some sage. These are buncheon onions here. This is scallions. This is Hass red onions, and over there is garlic and a lettuce planted in. On our big, large Vigo garden bed, this is a Savoy Perfection cabbage. There's some lettuce behind it. Yarrow. This is the Rouge de Hiver lettuce. Let me let you see it. You see it closely. Let me walk over here. It's actually amazing looking. Back there is a Southern Giant mustard green, some sage, and some Sofire red onions from Hass. Okay, I know I skipped over this. Sometimes I'll be wondering what's my problem, because I definitely planted some peppermint over there, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, what I wanted to show you today is this little bed. So this is a little bed I picked up off of Amazon. It's super cute. I think I paid $42 for it, and it's about waist high. So it was filled with lettuce. I took it out so I can clean it, because the lettuce had aphids galore. If you can tell by all the ants, let me tell you, if you start seeing a bunch of ants on your plants, look under your leaves. You more than likely have aphids. The ants are there because the aphids and the ants have a symbiotic relationship. You see, the aphids put out this sticky, sweet honeydew kind of residue that they create, and the ants love it. So the ants, in order to, they perform like an army that's here for the aphids' use. What they do is that they come and they'll protect the aphids, because they want this honeydew. So your ants will be lined up all along the bottom of your plants, and the aphids are just fine. In fact, that's gross, but that's life, and that's outside. So anyway, what we're doing today. So although I'm saying this lettuce had aphids, I am still going to plant in this bed. So this morning I cleared out this little half right here that you see. That I did turn the soil over a little bit with my little baby fork, because I pulled the lettuce out. I don't typically leave roots in. I know you're supposed to and let them decompose in your soil, but I feel like because I grow constantly, I never have time. There won't be time for anything to decompose, any roots to decompose in here. So, and I do that for all my beds. I don't leave roots in for anything. I may cut it back when I'm removing it, but the roots are coming out. And sometimes I try to reclaim my soil all the time, so I don't just pull it out and just toss the whole root ball. We're knocking that soil off because we know what kind of soil we use around here. It ain't trash, and we gotta keep it. We gotta save it. We have good soil. Also, I work hard to keep my soil in good health, regardless of what type of soil you're using. Feeding your soil is extremely important because that's where your plants eat from. So your liquid fertilizers are immediately available for nutrient uptake by your plant's roots. But your organic granulated fertilizers, you need the soil microbiome to break them down, in addition to moisture, which is why once you fertilize with granular, you have to water it in. So once the moisture hits that granulated fertilizer, it starts the breakdown process, and that feeds your soil, and then your roots from your plants take from that. So that's how that's going to work for you. So what we're doing today, I have some micro dwarf tomatoes. This is the orange hat. As you see, they're flowering. They need to get out of this container. I'm going to put them in this soil and let them grow on. And I know it's slightly too soon for this, like 10 days. But I'm in the greenhouse, so we don't expect any frost. We don't expect any temperatures below 42. We have a 49 day at night and a 42 day, but the daytime temps on those days are between 62 and 70. So it never really gets as cold in the greenhouse as it does outside, which means I feel confident about planting these in the greenhouse, and I feel like they'll thrive. In addition to that, my greenhouse I keep it closed. I either keep the weather shield down or just the screen down. So like today the screen is down, but that is because I don't want bees in here. I don't have anything growing here that requires pollination. And I say that, although I'm saying I'm growing tomatoes, nightshades are self-pollinating. So you really need to, they're wind pollinated, let me say that, but the male and female parts are in the same flower. So you really just need to tap on your flowers to shake the pollen loose so it can pollinate itself, so the male can release the pollen into the female parts, which is again in the same flower. So my tomatoes and my peppers don't need a bee or any other type of pollinator. It's some bugs in here, some gnats and some ants. Obviously I'm still outside, but this reduces the risk of me coming in here and maybe sitting down or working and getting stung or hurt or having to fight my way out, because although this is 15 feet long and 7 feet wide, it is cluttered in here with plants, which is only a temporary situation because it's almost plant out day, like 10 more days. But anyway, I'm rattling on. So like I said, I pulled the lettuce. I'm gonna let this lettuce continue to grow over here. It's actually not in my way, and the size and the amount of stuff I'm about to plant over here will actually be just fine. So what fertilizer am I using? Let me show you. So I know some people, you all have heard of the Mill food recycler. It's like a dehydrator. You can put all your food scraps in it. So I don't have a Mill. I have the other brand is called Wrinkle. So we are able to put all our food scraps in there. It's not a trash can, but we don't put in bones. We don't put in pits. So no stone fruit. But what we're able to do is take everything after we're done eating, put it in the Wrinkle, from bread to meat, and it dehydrates it. It's constantly turning around, adding a little heat, dehydrating it, and so then we get these browned grinds, which is pretty much compost. It's compost without the worm castings, without insects. It's a clean way to compost in your house. If you're gardening, it's a great way for you to get organic material to add into your garden. So what I did was I have a 30-pound bag of worm castings, my bucket of grinds from the wrinkle, so I keep them in my 5-gallon bucket with a lid on it. And so I've added the worm castings, I've added bone meal and blood meal, and so this is what I have. It looks like soil, but it's kind of a tan color. It doesn't smell bad. When the wrinkles going in the house, you don't smell it. Even when you open it, it doesn't have a putrid smell like you would think, which I'm pretty sure most people would be afraid to compost in the house simply because they are unaware what that fragrance would be, especially when the lid opens. Sorry, I have some stuff in here that looks like it was at the end of breaking down. So mostly everything breaks down. Like this is the end of a carrot, and so that piece was pretty hard, and it's probably pretty fresh if it still hasn't broken down yet, because generally, no matter what you put in here, by the end of the day it's unrecognizable. I also, when I prune my plants, my house plants, and when I was still pruning these plants before they came outside, I also throw those in the wrinkle. It's plant life, it's plant matter, it's organic, and it's breaking it down and doing just what we want. So, like I said, this is food waste from the wrinkle. Oh, look, the sun. That's food waste from the wrinkle. If you see that, bone meal, blood meal, worm castings. Oh, and I added the Espoma Garden Food 10-10-10. So we have a balanced organic fertilizer in here, a balanced organic granular fertilizer, which is the Espoma 10-10-10 Garden Food. That's this. And again, bone meal, blood meal, the food grinds, and the worm castings. So this would actually be actually a little bit lighter colored, but I went heavy on the worm castings because worm castings. Also, this is in a raised bed that's in my greenhouse, so I don't have any worms in here. I don't have very much. I mean, we have the microbial life, obviously, but I don't have anything else walking around in here that's going to live in this raised bed besides what I put in it. So we got that. I just shook a few spoonfuls in there. Let me turn you around. And then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to scratch it in. This bed was heavily amended before I started, and this bed is full of Fox Farm soil, the ocean forest, and compost. But this is the not so great compost and manure from Lowe's, the Timberline. I'm not gonna say it's wonderful, but it is what it is, and it's still your responsibility. I mean, don't think just because you went to the store and bought something that it's, the miracle you need all in one. I added perlite to this soil. It does have a lot. Sorry, y'all, it's a little breezy. So, anyway, y'all got a gangster lane. Sorry. So, still, after you buy something, products always say they're ready-made, ready to use, but you know what your garden's going to need. Sorry, you know what your garden's going to need. So, especially in a raised bed, go ahead and sieve out that compost. The one from Lowe's, the Timberline, it's got sticks and rocks in it. And what I use is one of these waste paper bags. So I use one of these. So I've got a bag in the bottom because I use it for trash. That's my next trash bag. So use this, sit this in your wheelbarrow or whatever you're using to get your soil. And or just pour it straight in. Like sit it down, pour your compost in the basket, and then when you lift the basket up, it will have sent it out for you. Sorry. So go ahead and use some of these little tools that came from the 5 quarter store. So these kind of little tools will help you out. Cost you $1.25, and look, you're ready to plant. So what we're going to do today, we're going to test this out. Now, while I'm doing this, let me tell you about why we have some squash planted in here. Again, because I'm going to consider this as sort of a closed system, because there's no pollinators coming in here, and honestly, once this door is closed, the screen is down, nobody sneaks in here. There's no bees yet. Like I said, I'm just going to lift up this end and slide on up under here. Honestly, I don't have that problem. When I'm in here, I close it behind me, and when I walk out, even if I'm walking out for a second, I close it behind me. So, the reason I have this squash in here is because this is the Dunja squash. It's Dunja. It is parthenocarpy. So parthenocarpy is a trait found in nature that allows a plant to grow and persist in the absence of pollination. So this plant is, a little magical, and it's not like it's obviously a hybrid, but you don't need pollination. So I want to see if I can successfully grow it in the greenhouse before actual plant out time. It gets warm in here, we have sun in here. I can protect it from those 2 cold nights we have coming. And if this can grow in here, this means I can get a jump start on my season and actually get some squash, because the vine borers came to slay last year. It's like somebody called them. I didn't know bugs had cell phones or mailboxes, but it pretty much feels like somebody either called them or sent them an invitation to show up to a party out there in my garden that was involving nothing but squash and zucchini, and they all showed up. Everybody was present, accounted for, and having a good time. So I don't want that this year. And if I can grow, because I have now 3 raised beds in here, if I can grow squash and zucchini ahead of time, then this is what I'll do. I know I don't have a problem hand pollinating, so I'm going to try the parthenocarpy ones in here just to see how it goes. If this is successful, then this is what will grow in the greenhouse. And we'll also try one of the regular ones, one of the other squashes that came, like a black beauty or something, because the leaves are big. I can hand pollinate. We did it before, so that's not an issue. But again, it will also give me an opportunity to find out if I can get a jump. I also have some parthenocarpy cucumbers, Party Time and Bait Alpha. So you may have seen an A-frame trellis over here. I am going to grow a Bait Alpha on one side of the trellis and the Party Time on the other. I'm just going to do one of each in here. My cucumbers generally don't have an issue out in the garden with everything else, but I'm going to see if I can grow them in here. Also parthenocarpy, so same situation. And I feel like in a greenhouse environment, especially if you're keeping it closed and intentionally preventing pollinators from coming in, that something that's parthenocarpy will be ideal. So that's this year's experiment. We're going to see what works in the greenhouse. Besides just lettuce and leafy greens, stuff that flowers, I want to know how flowering items do in here. Not actual flowers, like snapdragon's going to be just fine. But my flowering fruits and vegetables. So anyway, that's all I want to come and talk to you all about today. What I got going on. Tomorrow, it's like 78 today. Tomorrow's going to be in the 80s. So I'll be back tomorrow, and we're going to walk around the actual garden and talk about what we got going on, because I've already planted some stuff, and I'm going to plant some more stuff out there today. And tomorrow we will talk about what I've already done and what I'm planning to do. So, and then I'll bring you back tomorrow also for a follow-up to see how this is looking. I mean, it's going to look like this planet in a raised bed. However, just so you can see the finished product. So until tomorrow, hope you all have a great day. Happy spring. Get out there, plant something. Bye.